but I'm going to wear it anyway. It's the Milwaukee team.
You're representing. I like it.
I'm going to pull it out for one of my pieces.
We're live.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to our second night of Art Olympics, March Madness. Who is ready to have some crazy fun tonight? My name is Megan. I'm from the New York Museum of Art, and I'm going to be your host tonight. Tell us in the comments, tell us in the chat where you're joining us from tonight. We love to know. Just pop a little comment in there. Tell us what city you're joining us from. Maybe it's New Jersey, maybe it's Milwaukee, maybe it's Columbus. Could be all over. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited to be here with you all live tonight for our second night of Art Olympics. I hope you all were able to tune in on Tuesday for round one. This is round two. If you missed round one, I'm going to tell you later, don't fret. You can still watch it. I will share that link with you in the chat later on. It was a really heated night. You're going to want to see it if you were busy, had other things going on. We're zoomed out, no worries. But welcome to Art Olympics round two of March Madness. Let me tell you all a little bit about how this game works. Tonight, we are joined by two museums. We're going to have them go through 10 rounds, totaling 20 works of art. So they're each going to represent one work of art on those 10 rounds. And each museum is going to have 1 minute to present that work. Here's the key part, though. At the end of each round, we need you all to tell us who the winner is. Now, as I mentioned, this is March Madness. So for this competition, we don't have just two museums that you see here tonight. We have a total of 4 museums. They're competing in a bracket style. Last time on Tuesday night for Art Olympics, we saw the Brooklyn Museum battle it out against the New York Museum of Art. Tonight, we are joined by the Milwaukee Art Museum and the Columbus Museum of Art for another heated battle. So let me introduce you to our contestants. I am joined by the Milwaukee Art Museum, and I have with us Diane Choi, the Youth and Family Programs Coordinator. Hi, Diane. And Bridget Glabinski, the Senior Director of Education and Programs. And I see in the chat that we're all international tonight. We are from all over. So let me tell you a little bit about the Milwaukee Art Museum if you have never been. It is a museum that collects and preserves art and presents it to the community as a vital source of inspiration and education. 30,000 works of art, 400,000 plus visitors a year, and hopefully some year that might be you. 125 years of art collecting. From its roots in Milwaukee's first art gallery in 1888, the museum has grown today to be an icon for Milwaukee and a resource for the entire state. Welcome, Milwaukee Art Museum. It's so great to have you. From the Columbus, in this corner, we have the Columbus Museum of Art, and we are joined by 3 colleagues. We have Amber Nagy, the Visitor Experience Security Supervisor. We have Nat Hickman, who is a Sales Associate, and we have R.G. Barton, Visitor Engagement Associate. Welcome, welcome, Columbus Museum of Art. And again, for those of you who maybe haven't visited the museum, let me tell you a little bit about this amazing institution. The Columbus Museum of Art is built for the community, by the community. CMA, which is short for Columbus Museum of Art, is located in downtown Columbus, and its galleries are filled with works that manifest creativity. Their collection includes outstanding late 19th and early 20th century American and European modern works of art. Welcome, Columbus Museum of Art. And welcome to all of our contestants tonight. You're both institutions getting a lot of love in the comments here. A lot of love from all over. Now, as a reminder, contestants, you each are going to have 1 minute, 60 seconds to defend the work of art you chose to present for each category. If you go over time, you're going to hear this sound. Everybody hear it? Hear it? No, didn't hear it? Let me, you know what? It's really key when you do sounds that you share them. So let's try it this way. Nope, let's not try it that way. Hold on 1 second. Technological difficulties. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. When you go over, if you go over, I won't say when, some of you might be short and succinct. If you go over, you're going to hear this sound. Did we hear it that time? Okay, look, Megan knows technology. Here we go. Excellent. Now, to my audience, my people watching at home, once both museums have presented, you all must decide who the winner is. You can vote using our polls feature here in Zoom, or you can comment below on social media with the work that you think best fits the category. So we've got 10 categories. Just use the polls. Tell us. We want to know. We can't name a winner without you all. So we need your help. At the end of the game, our referees are going to tally it all up, and we're going to see which museum is advancing to the next round. Because remember, Art Olympics March Madness is 4 rounds of fun. Okay. Along the way, if you have questions or comments, please write them in the chat. Please comment below. We want to hear them. And a little tip from me to everyone on my Zoom here, if you are commenting in the chat, please change it from to all panelists to all panelists and attendees. And you can do that in the chat window by just clicking the drop down next to the word to. It's right where you type in comments. We would love for you to do it to all panelists and attendees. We can feel like we're together, we're with each other, we're having a great time. This is virtual, but we want to feel like we're all in the same room having fun together. All right, contestants, I've done plenty of talking. Now it's time for you all to talk. Are you ready for the Art Olympics? Okay, we're going to start with round 1. We're going to let the games begin. And with this first round, we are talking all about the hoops. That's this entire game. It's all about the hoops. So on the screen now, I'm going to show you both works that you're going to be seeing in just a moment from our different contestants here. So get an eyeful there, just sort of check them out, see which ones sort of strike you. And then each of our contestants are going to have 1 minute to convince you, to fully convince you. So first up, we have Amber from Columbus. Amber, I'm going to put 1 minute on the clock. Are you ready?
Yep.
You can begin.
All right. So this is Portuguese Woman by Robert Delaunay. And so Robert Delaunay was a co-founder of the Orphism style, which was kind of an offshoot of Cubism. And it's really known for its strong colors and geometric shapes, which in this case, he went with the circles or the hoops. So as you can see, they're all over this painting, and the vibrant colors, I think it really makes it pop. And that's what I have for this one.
Excellent. Coming in under time. Didn't even have to use my ding ding. Okay. Next up, we have Diane from Milwaukee. Diane, I'm going to put 1 minute on.
All right, Megan, thanks. Sorry, just had to get those hoops in. I'm so inspired by, let me adjust my camera again. I'm so inspired by Gary Renograd's untitled photograph that we're looking at now. It's from his series, Women Are Beautiful. We know it was taken around 1970. We don't know exactly where. There are some clues if you'll look with me. To the left, we see the truck that says Knights of Huntington. And right in front of it, we see the 2 girls holding the sign that says St. Thomas Apostle. Those are both in Long Island. So I'm thinking this is somewhere in New York, maybe in Manhattan. If we look at the girls behind the ones holding the sign, we see a bunch of teenagers with a whole bunch of hula hoops. They're all kind of at different points in their routine, if there even is a routine here. They're not quite as polished and choreographed as teens today might be. You could totally imagine the TikToks of girls in the street with like perfectly coordinated hula hoop routines. But this was the 1970s. We weren't quite at that point yet. Nonetheless, even though they weren't super refined and polished, they're all about the hoops. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so on the screen here, I now need to hear from you all. Which will you choose for All About the Hoops? Will it be Milwaukee's Hula Hooping Honeys or Columbus's Concentric Color Play? All about the hula hoops or the color play? Just write in the comments which one you think best fits All About the Hoops. Diane, you're getting a lot of love in the chat with that hoop. And also just going to send you some props because I cannot hula hoop. I don't know about anybody else on our game tonight, but
I can also barely do it in my office space here, so could only do it a couple little rounds, but thank you for indulging me.
all right, this is round one. I'm going to give one more second to cast your vote. Everyone's voice needs to be heard. Click that poll, type in those comments. That is round one. So now we're going to move on to round two. And round two is one and done. Done.
You still there, Megan?
Milwaukee. Let me show you. We're gonna begin. Can you all still hear me?
Now we can.
Now we can.
Okay, internet. Okay, let me know if that happens again. We're gonna start with Bridget from Milwaukee, and I'm gonna put 1 minute on the clock whenever you're ready, Bridget.
All right. Well, welcome to the Milwaukee Art Museum. It started with a dream, a few watercolor sketches, and this building that looks sort of like a bird or a ship took shape on the shores of Lake Michigan. It was Santiago Calatrava's very first U.S. building, the first time he saw realized his wings that open and close, hugging the building's body as if it were a bird. Time magazine called it the sexiest building of 2001. It is a joy to step inside the Quadrati Pavilion. The 90-foot high glassed ceiling, the wall, floor to ceiling windows, the white surface reflect the expansive lake and sky outside, sending shimmering light across an acre of highly polished Carrara marble. Calatrava's design instantly became the icon for the city, and after 20 years, it's still a joy to walk into this building. If you're an out-of-town visitor and only have time to see one thing in Milwaukee, it's the Calatrava, and it's one and done.
One and done, baby. All right, next up, we are going to hear from Columbus. Nat, this is all you, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put 1 minute on the clock whenever you're ready.
All right, so Par Nivara by Louis de Soto is very much a one and done inflatable sculpture. The piece is based on the figure of Buddha at Gal Vihara in Sri Lanka. This sculpture illustrates the death of Buddha and the circle of life. Buddha, who is dying of food poisoning in this, is also hopeful that all beings would be able to enter a consciousness where the continuity of suffering as a direct result of the karma would be extinguished and the cycle of continued rebirth into the world of samsara would end. Then the Buddha died with a consciousness of the end of suffering and thus did not return to samsara and is then one and done with living. The artist's face is on the Buddha and was put there as Louis de Soto contemplated his own demise. As the museum closes each night, the inflatable deflates, and as it opens, it inflates. The Buddha has its own room because of its size. The scale of the work also commentates on the huge personal issue and human experience of death, dying, and bereavement.
All right, the choice is now yours. Which will you choose? We have our Divine Dreamer or our Pivoting Pavilion. Are we going to choose Columbus's Divine Dreamer or Milwaukee's Pivoting Pavilion? This is the chat is, and the comments are very, very alive with this is a tough one. This is a tough decision. Let us know which one you choose for one and done. All right, I'm going to give one more second to vote. All right, right now I'm going to end it. Oh my goodness, look at this. We've got half and half. Now remember, everyone on Facebook is also sharing their votes as we speak. They're writing in the comments. So here on Zoom, we have a poll, and the poll kind of tells us a little bit, we kind of take a temperature of what people are feeling, but the game is still very much in play because things can change. This is only round 2. Let's move on to round 3. Oh, we got a violation on the court. We got traveling. All right, round 3 is all about traveling. So first up, we're going to hear from Columbus. Amber is going to tell her about her work of art and how it relates to traveling. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so Clyde Singer, the artist for this piece, he's actually an Ohio native. And he actually went to school at the Columbus Gallery of Fine Art, which was the original name for the museum. With our, we later switched our name and our art school went off and became its own thing. But the Columbus College of Art and Design still has a great partnership with us. So it's great to see some local representation. In this painting, we see a group of everyday people traveling the street, dealing with a little bit of gusty wind. I know anybody who's ever walked around downtown in a big city knows that the wind can get a little intense when you're walking. We don't know where they're heading. They could be on their way home. It looks like there's a basketball or a baseball stadium in the background that they might be headed to a game, but it's kind of up to us to see where they might be headed.
Next, we have Bridget with Milwaukee. Bridget, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Native Milwaukeean Brooks Stevens designed some of the wildest and most iconic modes of transportation. He came of age in the 30s when streamlined trains and sleek chromed appliances screamed glamour, speed, and all things modern. This Zephyr land yacht was an early signature piece that he designed for millionaire playboy William Woods Plankington Jr. It drew crowds on extended hunting and fishing detours as it sped from New York to Milwaukee and on to California. The Zephyr was the epitome of wealth and style. The trailer slept 6. It had a kitchen, bathroom, shower, living room, radio, telephone, and bunks for the chauffeur and the chef. You all know Brooks Stevens. Think Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, Harley, and even the Hiawatha's Skytop Lounge that carried Sinatra and the Rat Pack roaring across the country. We hold the Stevens archives, complete with photos, sketches, and presentation renderings. He may not be a household name to many of you, but he knew about traveling and style.
Got it in, right by a hair. Okay, so on the screen here, we have our 2 works that we just heard about, but I need to hear from all of you watching at home. So which will you choose? Will it be Columbus's Windy Wanderers or Milwaukee's Vintage Vanagon? When I saw this work, I just went with it. I know it's not a Vanagon. I know Vanagons are very different, but it's giving me that vibe. It's giving me that vintage Vanagon vibe. We've had some comments in the chat about the dog in your piece, Amber. Everyone is taken by the dog. Some call it rat dog. Some just say they love the dog.
I really like the dog, and the baby doll the young girl is carrying kind of creeps me out just a little bit.
It's good to feel uncomfortable sometimes when looking at art, you know? All right, I'm going to give you one moment. Just write in the comments. Tell us what you think. Do you like the Windy Wanderers? Do you like the Vintage Vanagon? Click on the poll there. All right, I'm going to share our results here for round 3 for everyone to see. We remember, we are getting lots of votes on our other channels. So I'm going to stop sharing that for now. And I want us to move on to round 4, which we've titled A Court and We Will Go. So this is all about love and basketball. Love and basketball, they go together more than you might think. So here on the screen, we're going to look at these 2 fantastic works of art. First, we're going to hear from Milwaukee. And I believe we're hearing from Bridget. Bridget?
All right. Okay, this is the stuff of romance novels. Fragonard shepherdess is waiting for her lover. Can you see him in the back making a break through the woods? However, to get the full steamy effect of this painting, we have to put on our 18th century glasses to understand its visual conventions, because it is hot, hot, hot. The pastoral setting is perfect for a passionate encounter. The palpitating symbols of lust, the basket of flowers in full bloom, the caged bird fluttering its wings, her arms raised holding a crown of roses. The mood is heightened by Fragonard's loose and spontaneous brushwork. She is already inclined to recline. And how about those feet, those bare feet and ankles? Ooh la la. Netflix show Bridgerton has nothing on Fragonard. Lady Whistledown, eat your heart out.
All right, next up, we are going to hear from Columbus. This is you, Nat, so take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Tennis by George Bellows perfectly exemplifies the category A Court and We Will Go because of Bellows' past in sports, as well as the deeply contrasted lithograph being shown. Bellows was born in Columbus, Ohio, and attended the Ohio State University and played varsity basketball and varsity baseball. In fact, he was so talented at baseball, he was offered a spot on the Cincinnati Reds, a pro team here in Ohio. However, Bellows continued in the direction of art and moved to New York, where he captured the growing pains of the city in the early 20th century. Bellows, similarly in this lithograph he drew, told the story of the other teams of New York, the teams of underdogs and the elite that made his work so powerful and real. Not only did Bellows draw a tennis match, he also artistically commentated on the eclecticity of all of his works that highlighted and revealed the courtship he had with his country, community, family, and self.
It was about to go out, so I just let it happen. But you were good. You were in. You were in the time frame. So we're going to vote now. We're going to choose. We've heard from both museums. The choice is now yours. Will it be Columbus's tempting tennis players or Milwaukee's seductive shepherdess? I don't know about y'all, but both of you. It's getting pretty steamy.
I mentioned it in the chat earlier when I said OH question mark, and then everyone said IO, and it kind of blew up the chat. So I'm going to do it one more time. So OH.
Blow up that chat. Put it in the comments. Oh, IO. Let us know which work you think is A Court and We Will Go. Is it our tennis players, our shepherdess? You have 2 more seconds. The clock is about to run out on you for voting. All right, let's see what we have here. We are only in round 4. We have a long way to go still yet. Things are getting, I'm sorry, I didn't flip the slide, so that one's on me. Things are getting heated, so I think it's time for halftime. Let's all get up, go get some nachos, get our favorite drink, nice cold beverage. So this round, it's all about the snacks. It's all about the food. That's the reason I go to sports games. I'm not sure about you all, but I'd love to hear in the comments what your favorite concession stand food is. Maybe you don't want the concession stand food. Maybe you want the people to walk up the seats to you so that you don't have to get up. That is also perfectly acceptable. So on the screen here, we have the 2 works we're going to hear about. First up is Columbus, and we are now going to hear from RG. RG, are you ready?
Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a great night. I hope you're cuddled up with all your favorite snacks, because everyone knows that snacks are the best part of any event. There's no baseball game without peanuts and Cracker Jacks. There's no movies without popcorn. There's no art Olympics without the basket of Splenda, I guess. Those are my concessions. Isabel Bishop knew this well in 1954 when she created this piece, Snack Bar. We see the subject is absolutely going to town on some snacks. Looks like maybe a big burger, looks delicious. But notice, we don't see what event these snacks are being enjoyed at. It could be a basketball game, perhaps the theater, but we don't see that. That's because it doesn't matter. The main course is the concession stand. Thank you.
All right, Milwaukee. We are now going to hear from Diane.
Oh, sorry, Megan. I was just enjoying my concession. Something you have to know about Milwaukee is that we were founded in large part by German immigrants. So what does that mean? In addition to that beautiful Calatrava building, when you come visit, you can enjoy tons of breweries and beer halls. So grab a cold brew with us. We'll get some cheese curds. It'll be great. In our collection at the Milwaukee Art Museum, we have over 200 German tankards, steins, and jugs. Some of them show off sophisticated gold and silversmithing. Some show off things associated with the owner's family or their city. Not this guy. This ponderous frog is all about just being goofy. In addition to this guy, we have a stein in the shape of a pug, one in the shape of a pig. We have a German elf. And we also have a super realistic skull stein that might have appealed to a doctor. So what I'm saying is, here in Milwaukee, we drink locally brewed beer out of human skulls, so watch out.
All right. The choice is yours. Which will it be? Or I'm just here for the concessions. Is it going to be our refreshing amphibian or our scrumptious snack bar? We've got an amphibian stein that you can drink out of. We've got a scrumptious snack bar. In the comments, I want our contestants to know that our viewers think you all are snacks tonight. So looking good. Everybody's looking good, feeling good. We're going to let you take a minute to put it in the comments to tell us which you think. What are my contestants' favorite concession foods? What do you go for?
Oh, you know what? I have this Bucks hat. And the reason I have it is not because I've ever been to a Bucks game, but because there's a new chicken tenders restaurant at the Bucks Arena. And I ordered some chicken tenders and they gave me a free hat. It even says "Fear the Deer." It's like my first sport hat ever.
So literally concessions brought you to owning this hat. I love it. What else? What do you all eat at games? Chicken tenders, hot dogs. What do we think? RG's all about the Splenda.
I'd love getting pretzels and hot dogs. I actually work at a stadium, so during football games, we always make sure we have a break and so we can get some snacks.
Funnel cakes too were a big one at the basketball games at the shot.
Funnel cakes for sure. Okay, so for this round, I'm just here for the concession. Scrumptious Snack Bar has taken it, but remember, these are not all the votes. We have many, many more votes coming in on Facebook. So I'm going to stop sharing that for just a moment. We are now, I hope you enjoyed your halftime break there. We took a little halftime break. We got ourselves a little something to refresh, to recharge. And now we're going to move on to round 6, the Agony of Defeat. We have 2 amazing works of art here on the screen. First presenting for the Agony of Defeat is going to be Milwaukee, and we're going to hear from Bridget.
All right. I always say if you're going to go down in defeat, go down looking good. Trentonova sculpted perfection. This dying Spartan is a stud from head to toe, and he has by far the best buns in the whole museum. The detail is amazing. From bulging veins to dripping sweat, curled toes, you can even see the pores on his skin. But the story doesn't end there. The sculpture almost went down in defeat twice. Once saved from a wrecking ball in the middle of the night before the Leighton Art Gallery was demolished. And a second time, it was saved from years of neglect in the county courthouse when it was littered with Coke cans and cigarette butts and graffiti before it came to the museum. Today, the last of the Spartans, which holds a place of honor at the center of the Leighton Art Gallery, which commemorates our founding father, meatpacker Frederick Leighton. The Spartan is looking fresh these days. He gets steam cleaned, and now he's in a position so you can really enjoy the view.
All right, next we have Columbus. RG, I believe this is you again, my friend. I'm going to set your timer. Go for it.
Awesome, thank you. You know, it's sort of unfair that we're going up against Milwaukee in this category because the Agony of Defeat is something that they're going to be well acquainted with at the conclusion of tonight's event. Luckily, we're still able to explore the theme through Young's sculpture, The Knockdown, pictured here. Depicted are two people having a good tussle, and one person has clearly gained the upper hand, is going in for the final blow. The loser, who has been defeated, appears to be melting into the ground, withdrawing, trying to escape what's coming. Not only the physical pain, but the emotional pain, the embarrassment, the hopelessness. And that hopelessness is what I imagine the agony of defeat feeling like if I were to ever experience it. Who knows? Maybe one day.
Let me know what you think for round 6. Will it be our worsted warrior or our banged up boxers? We've got Columbus's banged up boxers. We have Milwaukee's worsted warrior. The chat was pretty hot and heavy on that behind, so don't know, but
Up
just
until RG came in with that burn, man.
I had to, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm on your team. I agree, yeah.
I thought we were all Midwesterners here. What happened?
Well, we're a little more east. A little more.
One more second there. Let us know what you think. Write in the comments below. Is it the Warriors? The Warrior, is it the banged up boxers? What are you thinking? Or is it just the behind?
Bellows, in a couple of his works, he drew a bunch of boxers too. So very consistent here at the CMA.
I'm going backwards here. Sorry about that. This is the second round that I'm seeing that it is a tie. So the poll results here, it is a tie, 50-50. But we're going to see what Facebook says. We've got a lot of viewers that are coming in that want to get in on the action, that are commenting. So I don't know. I think it's still anyone's game at this point. So let's move on to round 7. Nothing but net, okay? First up, we're going to hear from Columbus. I believe we're going to hear from Nat again, but I'm going to show you here on the screen the 2 different works that they're going to be presenting. And for this category, Nat, they're saying in the chat, nothing but Nat. So nothing but Nat for presenting nothing but net.
Nothing but Nat.
So I'm going to put 1 minute on the clock whenever you're ready.
All right, so before Agnes Martin went on a personal hiatus from her everyday life in the summer of 1967, Martin lived in the busy and loud New York City. Martin's paintings and her own calm composure wouldn't indicate anything about her very troubled and oppressed life as a woman in a male artist-dominated world. Wind, which is the piece before us, is a piece that looks like some of her other paintings with very subtle details between her works. To Agnes, and hopefully you after some history and time with the piece though, it's a feminist metaphor of hard work that she probably repainted and regridded many times until she saw it exactly in her head. Martin drew grids, or nets, as she sometimes called them, to capture her thoughts, feelings, and the complex world that her diagnosed schizophrenic paranoia brought to her. Agnes now wants you, the viewer, to be able to capture your feelings and hold the intangible. As we are all still in the pandemic, this piece might offer some solace to you to catch some of your own creations in your head, your feelings, and creative ideas that the world is waiting to see.
Next, we have Milwaukee, and we're going to hear from Diane. I'm going to put 1 minute on the clock for you.
All right, this is one of our Caribbean artists in the collection. We actually have one of the most important collections of Haitian art outside of Haiti here at the Milwaukee Art Museum, but Amos Ferguson is actually a Bahamian artist. He was one of 14 children born in the island of Exuma in the Bahamas. When he was in his 40s, his nephew George told him that he had a vision in which the Lord said he had given one of George's relatives an artistic talent that they'd been wasting. And immediately Amos knew that was him. So he started paring down his work as a carpenter and a house painter, and he started painting and observing things wherever he went. It wasn't until his 50s when he started making art full time. So it's never too late, everybody. What's important to take from this story, I think, is that what may look easy and inevitable, like a ball sailing gliding effortlessly into the hoop, is actually years of study, practice, and dedication. The only thing the audience sees, though, is nothing but net.
Which will you choose? Will it be Milwaukee's Fisherman or Columbus's Graphite Wind? And we had a few comments in the chat. Columbus, I'd love to hear a little more about your thoughts on how this work maybe is viewed in person, because we all know virtual is great. We love it. We're so excited and glad to be able to come into everyone's homes during these times. But this feels like a work that might need to be seen in person.
Definitely, yeah, that the close-up that we had there, that's the entire piece is just grids. And so it's very hard to photograph the piece and actually see it. It's a pretty big canvas, and it's just these tiny little boxes over and over again. So it's really great. It's just kind of sitting there by itself. So,
And it's a lot bigger than people imagine too. I don't know the exact dimensions, but it's a really wonderful piece. And every single time, kind of right out of the minimalist, the start of minimalist too. And right before Agnes went on her hiatus, this was one of her first works. And then after that hiatus, we saw more grids. So it's really interesting to kind of see like a preface to her work.
Thank you for that insight. I'm going to give one more second. Will it be the Fisherman? Will it be Graphite Wind? And I put graphite because, I did want to kind of highlight that this is pencil, and you see that more with the detailed photo. So I'm going to end these polls here. And if you're on Facebook, you can write in the comments, let us know. Fisherman took it for this round, nothing but net. Nothing but net. Let's move on to round 8. Feeling great as we enter round 8. We've got Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year. First up, we're going to hear from Milwaukee. And I believe we're going to hear from Diane. Diane, I'm going to put your work up on the screen whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Megan. In addition to that great Haitian collection I just mentioned, ma'am also has a world-class collection of folk and self-taught art, of which this is one. This is actually my very favorite piece in our entire collection. It's so great. The girl is young, she's but a rookie, but somehow she commands your attention. Is it her creepy gaze? Is it her perfect doll-like hair? Is it her crisp, unmussed dress? Nary a wrinkle to be seen? There's something a little strange about this rookie. Is her seemingly tranquil cat going to attack you? Is she going to steal your soul through her unnerving stare? This rookie is not about to give up any of her secrets.
And next, I want to hear from Amber from Columbus. Amber, I'm going to put 1 minute.
there we go. Trying one more time.
You're
So
good.
this piece is one of our favorite pieces here at the museum. We always get people asking where it is and how to find it. So Kehinde Wiley, you might actually know him. He got a lot of buzz. He recently did President Barack Obama's official portrait. But before he did that, he came to Columbus back in 2006, and he worked on an exhibition called Kehinde Wiley Columbus. For this exhibition, he chose 6 works from our late Renaissance collection. And he gave them a modern twist by using regular people that he met in Columbus as his models. Basically, he had a limo, he had a camera crew, and he drove around the city and would stop African Americans that he saw around the city and ask them if they wanted to be models for his art. I know the gentleman in this piece, he used to come around, he would come to the museum and he would pose in front of the piece while it was up. So, yeah.
Okay, let's move on to our voting for round 8. Which do you think is the best rookie of the year? Is it going to be Columbus's portrait of Andre Stilt 2 or Milwaukee's Young Girl with a Cat? Young Girl with a Cat or Andre Stilt 2? This is a very tough decision in the comments. We have lots of comments on this Young Girl with Cat, Diane. A lot of comments that she is a little bit creepy.
I don't make any promises about what will happen if you do not vote for her. Sorry.
Ooh. Nobody wants bad juju from not voting for Young Girl with a Cat.
I think every museum has that one piece that's the haunted piece when it's on display.
Gonna give you just a couple moments. Comment below or click on our poll here. Let us know which rookie you like best. Portrait of Andre Stilt 2, Young Girl with a Cat. Gonna give you just 2 more seconds. Some people said they're gonna abstain from voting because they don't want that bad juju on them from not choosing Young Girl with Cat. No bad vibes. She's too scary, Sandra says. Too scary. Okay, I'm going to share our results here. We've got Portrait of Andre Stilt 2 taking it for this round. But I want to let you know that right now, referees have been keeping me in the loop, and we are neck and neck. So I want to tell my contestants, you really need to bring it for these last 2 rounds. You've been bringing it pretty good, but it is so neck and neck that I need you to really bring it. So I need you to do some warm-ups, stretch it out, get yourselves ready because we are rolling in to round 9 with the balls in your court. So let me see you get ready for that. First, we're going to see our works here for the ball is in your court. Such a common phrase. We use it every day. We use it with friends. We use it at work. It's a sports term. So first, we're going to hear from Columbus. And I believe, RG, you're going to tell us a little bit more about the balls in your court here.
Don't mind if I do. Hello again, everyone. This piece is called Man Throwing Ball, in which we see a man throwing a ball. But what's most interesting to me about this piece is that we don't see where the ball is going. I like to imagine that just out of frame is a very special place. And that place is your court. That's why it's not pictured, because everyone's court is different. Because the artist did not depict the court, we're allowed to imagine our own court. Personally, my court has trampoline floors, so I can finally dunk a basketball. But this isn't just about my court. This is about all of our courts. So imagine it's your court, just out of frame. And in the seconds after this photograph was taken, the ball is in your court. Thank you.
Okay, Milwaukee, you get to counter. I'm going to put 1 minute here. We've got Bridget presenting. Whenever you're ready, Bridget.
I am ready. All right. This is the floor that made Milwaukee famous. It was the home to the Milwaukee Bucks for more than a decade in the 70s and 80s. The Bucks tapped pop artist Robert Indiana, who was riding the wave of success from his love sculpture, to create this floor, hoping to draw attention to the city. Indiana had a stroke of genius. He said he'd do it only on the condition that it would remain secret until it was revealed on October 4th, 1977. And boy, did it pop. It was really, the color shimmered and glowed, and it provided a ton of free publicity for the city for decades. It also gave the Bucks a home court advantage. The colors and the design made it confusing to play on, so it was easy for visiting players to step out of bounds. While playing on this floor, the Bucks made the playoffs 18 times, went to 7 conference finals, and won more than 50 games in 12 times. Talk about the power of art. Go art!
Which will it be? Which will you vote for? Balls in your court. Is it going to be the unpredictable pass or Milwaukee's Mecca? The ball is in your court.
By the way, that stands for Milwaukee Exposition Convention Center and Arena. How's that for a mouthful? Mecca.
Got some comments here about the work you presented. I call it the unpredictable pass, Columbus, because as you mentioned, RG, it's an interesting throw. It's an interesting throw that he's going for it.
It's going exactly where he wants it, in my opinion.
May we all throw like him.
I
The
love
deer.
You
Fear
can
the deer.
barely you can barely tell what kind of ball it is. Is it it looks almost like a deflated soccer ball that he might be tossing through the air.
I was gonna say it's kind of like a Midwest thing to like throw pumpkins, and during like after like Halloween and stuff, might be a gourd of some sort.
All right, one more second to put in your vote. Is it Mecca? Is it the unpredictable pass? Someone wants to play gourd ball? We could try it. I'm going to share our results here. It looks like Mecca has taken it for this one. It's the home court advantage, just like Bridget said. So Columbus, not on you. They had the home court advantage on that one. All right, let's move into our very last round. These rounds have flown by. We're coming to the end of our game. And with this round, it's all about the 4-point play. It's all about the 4-point play. Does one of our contestants want to just kind of refresh our viewers on what a 4-point play is?
I don't know if that's a joke or not.
I will say I did have to look it up. So it's in basketball when someone makes a 3-point shot while also getting fouled at the same time, which lets them jump up and they're able to go for a free throw.
Okay, so that's when you get a foul and you have to stand on that certain line and you can only shoot it from that line, right? It's all coming back to me now. Sarah says, I don't have enough sport ball knowledge for this one, but she loves geometry. So Sarah, you're my people. I feel you. So we're going to end our game with 4-point play. Milwaukee is going to go first. We're going to hear from Diane. I'm going to put your work up on the screen. Let me know whenever you're ready.
All right. We love Joseph Albers here. He was born in Germany, so he's an honorary Milwaukeean, and he's well known for his homage to the Square series, of which this is one. But did you know he didn't start that series until he was in his 60s? Once again, never too late. He was exploring chromatic interactions with his nested squares, which is kind of like, do you remember like a year ago when you actually used to leave the house and you'd be planning out your outfit, you'd be holding up shirts with pants, looking at the colors and patterns next to each other? That was kind of what he was doing too. I have a vague memory of that as well. He continued this series for 25 years and created over 1,000 square paintings. In honor of his dedication to those 4 equal sides and those 4 gorgeous corners, we award 4 points in this play by Joseph Albers.
Columbus, you want to counter? Amber, I believe this is you again.
Yep. Well, if you think this painting looks similar to the one you just saw, there's a reason for that. Richard Niskowitz was actually a student of Joseph Albers at Yale. So they definitely, the there's a reason they look very similar. But he was a leader of the op art movement, and he loved to play with the way different colors interacted. So that's why you kind of see colors that might not always go together and they really pop. This, similar to some of the other pieces, these are two very large canvases on the wall, and the paintings, they really almost glow when you see them in person. So it's definitely, they definitely pop out at you. So.
All right, I'm going to pull up our poll here. The choice is now yours. We've seen two very square works. Will it be Columbus's red rippled rectangles or Milwaukee's family of four squares? I like to think they're a little family, just all sort of nestled in together. And then we've got Columbus's work, which I think it vibrates. It's just, you look at it and it moves. So let us know your thoughts, write in the comments, tell us. Remember, this is the last round. We've got 4 squares here. Don't be a square and vote. Okay, guys? Tell us which one you think.
I just want to mention also, we did not coordinate on this. This was a, a magical synthesis of thought, because none of us know what a 4-point play is, I think.
Yeah, I think Elise in the comments said, who chose this category? Because she's like, clearly none of these art people know what a 4-point play is. We try.
If you are having trouble deciding between these two and they're too similar, always go with the team with the cutest player. Just saying.
Bridget, Diane, do you want to counter on that?
I mean, I guess since we're actually the Midwesterners here, apparently, we're gonna just keep it polite, smile, and say, thank you, have a great day.
I think there was a bit of a debate going on about whether or not Columbus was a Midwest city. So it's a little interesting.
That explains it all then. That explains it all.
There was a heated discussion. I noticed that flowing through there. So I'm going to end our polling here. I'm going to share with you that our red rippled rectangles did take it for round 10. They did take it to round 10. Well, everyone, I just want to thank you all so much. What? Okay, people are messing with my PowerPoint. I didn't even know this slide was here. This is crazy. Well, since we've got it, we might as well do it. We've got this round, I think it's called Fun and Games. So let's hear from Columbus first. Nat, I'm going to give you 1 minute to tell us why this work is fun and games.
All right, so a little ball game by Grandma Moses fits the all-age inclusive spirit of the category fun and games. Not only is there a literal ball game going on between the two children at the bottom center of the painting, but also there is a revelation of the nostalgia in the work. Grandma Moses remembers fondly the winters of her younger age and the fun she had. To capture this nostalgia, Moses used pressed wood in oil paints and painted from top to bottom, as she would say. This piece is a conglomeration of spectrums being caught by the ball of fun and sunshine Moses was. For example, in this painting that we have at the museum, Moses focuses on the children who are playing a ball game, which in contrast, Grandma Moses started painting earnestly at the age of 78. Additionally, the vastness of the piece as a whole is juxtaposed to the flat white snow that makes you lean in and see the fun, energetic, and simple community that Grandma Moses endearingly remembered with love, nostalgia, and of course, fun.
Milwaukee, I have your work up here, and I believe we're going to hear from Diane. Diane, let's hear about fun and games.
Thanks, Megan. Here we have a portrait of 2 young men in powdered wigs by Georg, or attributed to Georg Anton Abraham Erlov, another German, so we love him. You know from looking at this immediately that these two know how to let loose and have a good time. Look at the powdered wigs, the lacy cravats, the ruffled cuffs. They are ready to party. You also notice right away that the shorter one is holding a badminton racket and a shuttlecock, but do you also see how he's casually leaning on a piano with a violin on top of it? Get you a man who can do both, ladies. These guys are jocks and they're cultured.
That's our bonus round. My friends, let's hear from you all. Which do you think it will be? Will it be our racket wielders or our snowy ball game? Will it be our racket wielders or our snowy ball game? I didn't notice the violin until you said it. My eye just went straight to the racket, Diane. I never even...
Where are my musicians at? I play bassoon, so
That's fun and games. Got a lot of Grandma Moses fans in the chat. And then Diane, someone has told us that your the work you presented, I should say, is Hamilton early years. So they're getting some Hamilton vibes from it.
Yeah, these guys are definitely rappers. Just, you can tell immediately.
All right, I'm going to give one more moment to vote. If you're on Facebook, if you're on our social medias, please comment below. We need to hear from you. This is a tight game, very tight, very close, squeaking by. So we need to know what you think, which best represents fun and games. Is it our racket wielders or our snowy ball game? Did you guys get a lot of snow in Columbus this year?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We also, the museum also, we actually still have fondly, we call it Snow Mountain, which is whenever we have to clear the snow off the parking lot, it all goes into about 4 or 5 spots that are just, it's about a 10-foot tall snow mountain that lives in the corner of our parking lot. Most of the snow is gone. I think actually we were getting a little bit of snow today, so we might add to it a little bit.
Gosh. All right, I'm going to end our poll here. So I'm going to share the results, but I do have to give the referees some time. Snowy Ball Game took it here on Zoom, but I'm going to give my referees some time in the interim to really tally it all up and see how it all came down on Facebook, because there's a lot happening over there. So in the meantime, we have a few moments with our contestants, and I want to hear from you all in the chat and in the comments. Any questions about these works that you've seen today? Any questions about Milwaukee Art Museum, Columbus Museum of Art? We have a lot of shout outs, a lot of people saying amazing job, great game. You really brought it on the court. But do you have any questions? Anything you want to know? I really did enjoy your comment earlier, Nat, about, it's hard to tell the size of these works when you were talking about Wind that you presented for Nothing But Net. It is hard to tell the size on virtual. And so sometimes you have to explain if it's like really small or really big, because it could look like either.
also while we're tallying up things, I want to thank Megan for doing this and being our host. And also I want to thank Diane and Bridget so much for coming and doing this with us. As someone who is naivete at the field at hand, it is really great to have professionals help and do this. And so thank you for both bringing your insight to things. It was really interesting to hear your take. I really appreciate it.
Amazing. Thank you, Nat. Love that sportsmanship. Love that sportsmanship. And it has been a true pleasure to have all of you on, all of our contestants on today. I did get a question about the Kehinde Wiley that we saw earlier. So this was for Rookie of the Year. We saw the portrait of Andre Stilton, I believe. I might get it wrong, and you can tell me. They had a question in the chat. Peter wants to know, there's probably an ornate frame that goes along with it. Is that true? And is there a reason why it's not in the image? Anything there?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure why the image is the one we had in our, I think, just in our system, but there is a really beautiful gold ornate frame on it. That's actually, Kehinde Wiley actually created the frame to go with it. I will say I've been to other museums that have other pieces by him, and the frame is the same on almost all of them. Because he was playing around a lot with, he was recreating those older works, so he wanted to have the big ornate frame on it as well. And that piece, I will say, another with the sizes, that piece is quite large, so it really stands out in the gallery, the bright colors and then the gold frame.
Yeah, and I think Peter must be a Kende Wiley fan because he knew about those ornate frames that he makes. So we've had a few questions in the chat about Art Olympics, and of course we are doing 2 more this month. Can you believe it? We're doing 4 this month. And we have put the link to those in the chat. We'll put it in a few more times because the chat is popping tonight, you guys. But I have one more question, and then I think the referees are almost making a decision. If each museum presenting tonight could just tell us if you're open right now, or maybe a little bit of what you're doing in the interim if you're not open. Like, let our viewers know, like, how can they find you? What are you up to? What you doing?
We opened today, so very exciting. And it's great to be open after so many months of being closed. So I want to invite everyone to Milwaukee to come see the Milwaukee Art Museum. It's a fantastic building and collection, and easy to get here. And I also wanted to add my thanks, Megan, for roping us into this game, and for Columbus for being such great sports. Thank you so much.
And then in Columbus, we are also open. We've been open for actually quite a while. So we're really we're ready to go. And we have a great special exhibition right now with a local artist. And we also, if you check out our website, we have a ton of online programs for both adults and children that happen every week. So lots of fun things to do.
Excellent. And virtual tours, either of you doing virtual tours and or virtual programs for some of our, tonight's audience is global, all over. So anything virtual you want to shout out that they can take part in from the comfort of their homes?
Go ahead, Diane.
Yeah, if you go to mam.org, we have virtual tours. We have art projects you can make at home. I do a toddler program every month where we bring in a local musician and we look at art and make things. I and my colleague Brett teach online classes. We just wrapped up our winter session, but we're about to put our summer camps up. So anyone who wants to take summer camp with me or with Brett, we'd love to have you. We send out really great art materials before the camp, so you have everything you need, and then it'll be just like this. We'll lead you through Zoom from home. And yeah, it's lots of fun, but we have just tons of stuff. We have curator talks, like all kinds of things on our YouTube channel. And yeah, so if you go to our website, we have everything you need right there.
We also just opened an exhibition, Susan Mycelis, through a women's lens, and we have a 360 tour online as well that just has a lot of in-depth information and interviews with people who are in the photographs. So it's really rich and fun to look at. And then you come see the show in person in Milwaukee.
Yeah, Columbus, we have great studio workshops for children. They happen every week, and they kind of lots of different themes. And we also we actually just had a creative happy hour event. It's always the first Thursday of the month. So that was actually tonight. They just probably wrapped up on a different Zoom. But it's a great kind of guided, you can use just regular materials you have at hand around your house, and they make postcards and lots of different things. And then we also have some curator talks, and all of those, the previous ones, they're all posted on our YouTube channel as well. So
excellent.
One last thing about, we do have the Amina Robinson exhibit that's open right now, which some of you might be more familiar with Amina Robinson now because it was featured in the New York Times, or she was. So check out that article, Amina Robinson, Columbus Museum of Art, and then come see our show before, I'm gonna guess it's probably gonna start traveling at some point because it's so amazing and I think everyone needs to see it. But yeah.
And that one's actually up, that's open here in Columbus until October. So plenty of time to see it. She was a big part of our community, and she left us everything when she passed away a few years ago. So tons to see in that.
If you all want to, while we announce the winner in just a moment, grab some links that you can maybe put in the chat for our viewers so that they can check out MAM, they can check out Columbus, they can come. The great thing about this is that all 3 of our institutions just get to kind of spread the word about what we're doing, because museums all over sort of just some are open, some aren't. And it's great to hear about the programs you've been making work. And we, again, are so excited to have you here tonight for Art Olympics March Madness. So I believe my referee has come to a decision, and it's time for us to share who will be advancing to our next round. Remember, tonight is not the end. Oh no, my friends. Tonight is not the end. So if I can get a drum roll from my contestants, please. And those in the chat, please give us a drum roll. The museum, and remember, both museums worked so hard tonight, sweated their butts off, but the museum that will be advancing to compete on March 23rd is Milwaukee Art Museum. Amazing. Congratulations. I've got one little clip for you here. Yo, Adrian, I did it. That is for you all. You did it. Congratulations. Now, Milwaukee is advancing. What does that mean for Columbus? Because Columbus worked just as hard. They brought it. And so I have some exciting news for you all, and we're going to share here on the screen the details. Tonight is not the end by any means. So Columbus is going to be going on to compete on March 16th. And this is a battle for the bronze medal. They're going to be going up against Brooklyn Museum. So for all of you in the chat, I know we have a lot of Columbus fans. I saw you all, nothing but Nat. I know you're there. Put it in your calendars right now. March 16th, you want to be there. It's going to be Columbus Museum of Art up against Brooklyn Museum, and that's going to be a battle for the bronze. And we're going to put some links to those events in the chat for you so that you can easily click, get a free ticket, don't miss it. You want to be there. Now, what does that mean for Milwaukee, who brought it tonight and are now moving on? Milwaukee, it's us now. It's me. It's Newark Museum of Art against you all. This is going to be really, really close on March 23rd. You don't want to miss it. They're going to be going up against us at the Newark Museum of Art, and we're going to see who can go for the gold. All right. Any final comments?
This was so fun. Just
It was March Madness. How about that?
It was madness. I want to say a huge congratulations to all of you. A huge thank you to all of you. I know how much time and energy you all put into all of this. Your presentation on all of these works was exceptional. We've been so, so happy to partner with you all on this program. And the part I'm most excited about is this is not the end. We have 2 more. So come back on March 16th. We're going to see Columbus go up against Brooklyn. And then on the 23rd, we are going to have Milwaukee back, and it's going to be Milwaukee versus Newark. So I want to say a huge thank you to all my viewers tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Don't miss our next 2 events. Do not miss these 2 amazing institutions and everything that they're doing. Check them out. Go to their websites, support them, sign up for their emails. And as always at the Newark Museum of Art, we have tons of virtual programming going on as we are not open at the moment. So take part in anything we have going on because it's virtual. You can access it from the comfort of your home. I want to thank you all so much for participating tonight. Congratulations to both teams, and I will see you in just a couple short weeks.
Columbus rocks. Thank you for
Thanks, everyone.
a great
Congrats, Milwaukee.
competition.